Good afternoon to everyone. Well, in this occasion, I want to read uh, a very interesting sutta. It's the from the Anguttara Nikaya, the books of the 11th, and it will be 11.2. The name is volition, and this sutta uh, have this sutta has a twin in the book of tenth and also is related to the previous one. But I want to share and highlight some aspects of this sutta. The translation that I use is the Bhikkhu Bodhi's translation. So, bhikkhus, for a virtuous person, one whose behavior is virtuous, no volition need to be exerted. Let none regret arise in me. It is natural that none regret arises in one who is virtuous, one whose behavior is virtuous. For one without regret, no volition need be exerted. Let joys arise in me. It is natural that joys arise in one without regret. So, the first two verses, in the first one, the Buddha is saying that in a virtuous person, in a person whose behavior is virtuous, so uh, he or she keeps the precepts closely, um, they don't need to exert the volition to uh, the non-regret, because a person who fulfill or keeps the precept has a mind that is naturally uplifted, some has some degree of peacefulness, of peaceful, and there is tranquility in a mind that fulfill the precept. So it's very interesting because this this first paragraph is showing us that a person who pay attention to their behavior, the man will be free from regret on remorse. And this is the very first step to start the Buddhist training. Keep the precepts, because essentially makes our life simpler. The second one is for one without regret, no volition need to be exerted. Let joys arise in me. It is natural that joys arise in one without regret. So, uh, in a person that keep the precept, they there are already the conditions to joy arise easily. And this is one of the great advantage to keep the precept. And then we don't have to looking for joy, because our mind will be naturally joyful. For one who is joyful, no volition need to be exerted. Let rapture arise in me. It is natural the rapture arise in me, arise in one who is joyful. So this third line is very interesting. The first was joy and the second rapture. I think that the previous word joy is regarding pamoja. This is the enthusiasm that arises in a practitioner that start to practice, keep the precept, he exert generosity, and this kind of enthusiasm is very common to arise in the mind, because they start to feel uh, confidence about the choice of follow the noble path. So this paragraph is talk about rapture, pity. So at this moment, not this moment, the previous one, when joy arises in me and now rapture arises in me, is a start to have some resemblance with the Upanishad Sutta. The Upanishad Sutta is, I think, is Samyutta Nikaya 12:23, and is the transcendental dependent origination that have two branches. One is a start from the liberation, the emancipation, and go uh, through all the links to ignorance, and then from ignorance go. Sorry, start with suffering and go through the 12 links to ignorance, and then from ignorance go through liberation. So this second branch, the transcendental, is very similar to this sutta. So when I am joy, when I have enthusiasm, it's very easy for me that rapture arise. What is the meaning of this? Here, pity, rapture have different aspect, or we can find different angles to this rapture. One of them is very easy to the mind to enter in a jhana state because there is no regrets, no remorse. The mind is peaceful and the mind is very flexible and turn its results very easy to apply 6 hours when some hindrance arises and come to the object of the meditation is very easy because there is no attachment to the opinion. Uh, there is no quarrel in the mind. There is no fight against nothing. And this is the advantage of the keep the precept, generosity, pamoja, enthusiasm, and then naturally arise pity. So let's move on. For one with a rapturous mind, no volition need be exerted. Let my body become tranquil. It is natural that the body of one with a rapturous mind is tranquil. So here again, we have another condition to the tranquility, body tranquility. The body tranquility is a feeling of comfort or be in an easy way. And this is part of sukha. Sukha is happiness, maybe it's also satisfaction and comfort. The body is comfort. And we can see when we have this joy, uh, the body feels very comfortable. So it's very interesting because here the Buddha is showing us uh, a clear instructions how the things arises regarding the previous condition. So starting with the precept, there is no remorse, so I am enthusiastic about my practice. I have joy, and when I have this rapture, this pity, I feel tranquil in my body. Let's continue. For one tranquil in body, no volition need be exerted. Let me feel pleasure. It is natural that one tranquil in body feels pleasure. So it is very important. I think this is the other part of Sukha. These two phrases, these two verses. First, the tranquility, the body tranquility, and this pleasure, both are sukha. And it's very interesting because when we meditate and we feel that kind of rapture, and maybe the rapture fades away, and we start to feel happiness, comfort, sukha, the body feels very, very comfortable. So we have here some kind of analogy between uh, these causes and conditions that the sutta mention it, and the first three jhanas. So let's continue. For one, feeling pleasure, no volition need be exerted. Let mind be concentrated or collected. Sorry. It is natural that the mind of one feeling pleasure is collected. So this is very interesting because now we're going to find that all the previous steps somehow evolved to collectedness of mind. And this is very important because I want to say it again. The Buddha says the volition said this phrase that I think is great. For one feeling pleasure, no volition need be exerted, such let my mind be concentrated. So when we sit to meditate and we have kept the precept. We have kept the precept. This start a series of conditions that if we are patient and if we don't put too much energy in the meditation process, and if we are very gentle with our object of meditation, these uh, links will start to arise. We have to trust in this process. But generally in our mind, there is some kind of fear. Oh, I'm going to be distracted from my object of meditation. So I put a little more of energy and they start to disbalance the mind. And I start to feel that some part of the mind is hard. And the mind start to get a lot of restlessness. But if we are confident about our behavior, our generosity, we're going to sit with a smile in our face. And this smile is somehow pamoja, this um, the recognition that we are doing something really good, not only for ourselves, but for the world, because we are going to train our mind. And this smile, this act of generosity to ourselves and to the world, make us feel really open, really acceptant of whatever occurs in the meditation process. So start with this joy, continue with pity, and we'll slowly going through the first four jhanas. Then pity disappears and appears this comfort, this feel of bliss and pleasure that is sukha. And then the mind by itself is gathered around the object of meditation without pushing, without any effortless. And this is collectedness. So it's the result of previous decisions, of previous perspectives. So samadhi, collectedness, is the result of our right effort, 6 hours, and proper attention. Remember to observe, or mindfulness. Remember to observe how mind's attention moves from one thing, from object to another. And if we have this before our sitting, this perspective of remember that in our mind, dependent upon our intentions, dependent upon our previous choices, that will be the base for the future, we remember the first step of the Noble Eightfold Path, right view and right intention. Somehow, if we are grateful, if we are open to this opportunity to sit on meditation, all these conditions will arise in our mind without effort. Of course, we will have to apply 6 hours many times, but this is right effort, and we are taking very good decision every time we apply the 6 hours. So here continue the Buddha and said, for one who is collected, no volition need be exerted. Let me know and see things as they really are. It is natural that one who is concentrated, knows or collected, knows and sees things as they really are. So, the result, the outcome of this collected mind is see and know and see the things as they really are. So, what is the meaning of this? In this moment, the the mind is with a strong equanimity. And what is equanimity? Equanimity is a really feeling, hard feeling, hard to define. What is equanimity? It's the last of the four Brahma Viharas, and many people, especially beginners and sometimes intermediate uh, meditators, doesn't understand as experience what is equanimity. Equanimity is a feeling that brings us the acceptance of anything in any moment. Equanimity is a feel of be open and don't see the things as me, mine, or myself. So at this point, without effort, the equanimity will arise in our mind. And probably we we can see that maybe the only thing that it's occurring here and now is feeling, Vedana, experience, that it could be pleasure, painful, neither pleasure nor painful. If I have mindfulness and equanimity, I will see these three aspects of the present moment without being, uh, without crave for anything of this tree, for any one of these three. Sorry. So I can see with I remember keen wisdom. I can see that the only thing that occurs here and now is Vedana. Painful, pleasure, neither painful, neither pleasure, no pleasure. And when the mind is in this state of equanimity, it feels free. It feels open. And there is some kind of happiness in that state. And it is the happiness of being release of these three aspects. The mind will be will feel some kind of distance between the experience, and this distance is very wholesome because we don't react, we don't jump in the experience with our reactions. This lack of reactions give us the opportunity to see the things as they really are. And this will bring us more understanding about the process of the human cognition, the process of see how minds works. We need an equanimous mind, a mind without reaction. And then we will have action based upon this equanimity. And this is the path to liberation. So let's continue. For one who knows and sees things as they really are, no volition need be exerted. Let me be disenchanted. It is natural that one who knows and sees things as they really are is disenchanted. So this is the next step of equanimity. One is become disenchanted is a person who has already trained this equanimity for a certain period of time. And because of this distance between the present experience and there is no reaction, the mind of that meditator starts to be more and more disenchanted of Vedana, and especially from the reaction to that Vedana, for the craving, the aversion, or the identification. And this brings us a continued smile in our mind and in our face, because we understand that this is the monkey mind. The monkey mind is this kind of mind that is jumping from one tree to another, from one branch to another, searching for something that bring it relief, satisfaction. And the person who is training with constant determination, the meditation, the precepts, and the generosity and wisdom, this vision as the things as they really are, and the disenchantment will be something very natural. This person maybe said, okay, I know that all the time I am impinged with sensory data, with thoughts, but this is samsara. This is the way it's in the way that samsara works. I can't do anything about it. I can't change the law of the samsara, but I can change the reaction. I maybe I can not react. In other words, do nothing about it. 6 hours. And this space, this distance bring me new perspective. This perspective is I understand that this is the game. I don't want to play the game. And I feel happy about it because I can do my daily activities or my meditation without trying to uh, bite, get a bite of the world. From one who is disenchanted, no volition need to be exerted. Let me become dispassionate. It is natural that one who is disenchanted becomes dispassionate. So this is the next step, dispassion. If I don't, uh, if I don't bite the world, if I don't chew the world, and I have this distance, eventually when my mind matures in release, I will start to feel this passion, this tranquility, viraga in Pali. This tranquility is the deep understanding of this process of the monkey mind. And I remember that Delson Armstrong said in many of his talks that he recalls a sutta that uh, I think it's called luminous mind, that the Buddha said that the mind is luminous because, but due to adventitious, uh, I don't remember the word, hindrances, is obscures. So it's very interesting because in another sutta, the Buddha describes the mind as a monkey mind. And we have these two versions. So for a mind without training, the conditions to be a monkey mind are very near to the surface. When we train and meditate a lot and keep the precept, the generosity, the mind starts to be more and more luminous, more and more collected, more and more equanimous, and start to manifest their own luminosity. The dispassion is, we can say, depending upon the process that we're talking about, is the previous step to that luminosity of mind. And it's a deep tranquility that gives us the the opportunity to understand the samsara in a very different way. I think that this passion is the last step before we can just let go craving and experience liberation and nibbana. So, for one who is dispassionate, no volition need to be exerted. Let me realize the knowledge and vision of liberation. It is natural that one who is dispassionate realize the knowledge and vision of liberation. So here, continue with the liberation. And the Buddha says that let me realize the knowledge and vision of liberation. So it's very important because we can realize it's not something intellectual, it's something that we experience and is transformative, give us the possibility to change our mind. Nibbana, no fire, is the meaning. Nibbana, no fire. It's also an when someone experiences nibbana, that will bring to to that mind uh, a change that there is no coming back from there in a very good way. In a very good way. Many of the beliefs and uncertainties and another aspect that this aspect are regarding the 10 fetters will dissolve. And this is the power of experiencing Nibbana. And now the Buddha is saying this. He is recap the whole sutta. Thus, bhikkhus, the knowledge and vision of liberation is the purpose and benefit of dispassion. Dispassion is the purpose and benefit of disenchantment. Disenchantment is the purpose and benefit of the knowledge and vision of things as they really are. The knowledge and vision of things as they really are is the purpose and benefit of concentration or collectedness. Collectedness is the purpose and benefit of pleasure. Pleasure is the purpose and benefit of tranquility. Tranquility is the purpose and benefit of rapture. Rapture is the purpose and benefit of joy. Joy is the purpose and benefit of non-regret, and non-regret is the purpose and benefit of virtuous behavior. Thus, because one stage flows into the next stage, one stage fills up the next stage, for going from the near shore to the far shore. So, this last paragraph somehow recap to the previous sutta. So I think that this sutta gives us very nice instructions, not only regarding the causes and condition, but I think that here the word that the volition is not need to be exerted. This is the main thing here, I think. And we don't have to try harder. We have to be aware of what's going on in the present moment and let it be, non-react. And if we are uh, catch up in our reaction, 6 hours, in our attachment, justification, or history about stories about our feeling, 6 hours. And that's it. We don't have to do anything else in the meditation or in our daily activity if we keep the precept, if we are generous, because here is where samadhi and wisdom intertwine, twin, and we don't need to push harder. We mm, we have to see, or we need to see that with this method of be gentle, the mind will be collected by itself. The equanimity and all of these steps will arise eventually at its own time. We don't need to push. We have to trust in the process. And in this way, the meditation is a very beautiful experience, very tranquil and gentle. We don't need to seek in an obsessive way. So when we sit on meditation, we have to remember this. If we want to uh, a tranquil meditation, we have to be open. We have to remember that we don't control the meditation because there is no controller, there is no meditator. It's only meditation. It's the action. And if we remember this, if we remember that anything that's happened is impersonal before the sitting, and the only thing that we are going to do during the meditation is stay with the object, 6 hours. Let things have their own way. We're going to feel that the meditation is a beautiful and tranquil activity that eventually brings us wisdom and liberation. I hope you would enjoy the talk. Let's share some merit. May suffering ones be suffering free, and the fear struck fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief, and may all beings find relief. May all beings share this merit that we have thus acquired for the acquisition of all kind of happiness. May beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty power, share this merit of ours. May the long protect the Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much. I hope you have a beautiful week. Metta for all.